Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Yep, he's eating again. That's right. I have no guilt about it because I'm eating pretty healthy today. I have some 2% milk on top of my Special K with red berries. And for an extra boost, I've added one organic banana. Delicious. Welcome. Come on, you guys, get with it. Welcome to today's installment, the Wednesday edition of Bathrobe Moments. I'm your host, Dr. Lauren. I need to get this thing tightened up, this thing here. Wow. Can you believe it? This week has moved pretty quickly for me. How about you? How's it going? Made it to the halfway mark. couple more days to go, and we'll be on that long weekend. The Labor Day weekend is in front of us. I will be. Oh, I have a shoot. I'll have to start promoting it tomorrow on the show because the artwork came back, and they forgot to put the logos on there of the network. So, anyway, I have a television special coming up this Saturday. You'll be able to watch it on all my platforms, as well as the E360 website. You can go there, Live Central, Roku, Amazon Fire, the works. AOS, iOS, Apple TV. 90-minute special talking about trauma. I've been looking. I put an ad out about 3 months ago on a few different platforms, asking for people who had compelling stories about how they were able to transform their trauma into triumph. And boy, have we got 5 people. I make 6. Some really diverse, interesting, you would have never seen it coming type stories from some people who are just heroes, in my opinion, because they're willing to be vulnerable and to share their journey on how they did what they did. We've all been poisoned by something, but it's what you do with that poison. You either let it disease you, you let it kill you, you let it stop you, or you extract it and you turn that shit into some antidote. Bottle it up and take it out to the world, the market. Can I get an amen? Well, there you go. So that's what's happening. That is Saturday at 1 p.m. Central. You can watch it on all of my platforms, but I will begin aggressively promoting that tomorrow. So, my manners, good morning, beautiful people. You look awesome today. How's your week shaping up on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being awesome. Put it in the comments. I want to know. Jeffrey METRICK is here today. Did I say your last name right? I don't think so. I think it's METRICK. When I say METRICK, it's METRICK, just like the system, spelled a little differently. Excuse me. Allergy season is out and about. It's high temperatures here in Chicagoland today. 98 is the high. Thunderstorms last day or so. More of them coming today. Oh, yeah. Say hello. She's here as always, every day, just about. You've been slacking lately, Lucy. Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. She's my Ed McMahon. Okay? There's the bell of purpose in full effect today, as every day. When I ring the bell, it's because there is some truth out there, and the truth has a ring to it, just like the bell. So when you hear the bell, it means stop what you're doing. What they saying? What they talking about? Get to where you can hear it. How's that? All right, there it is. So Jeffrey, our guest today, I met him years back. I don't know if it was at the first Power Week Symposium, the very first one. We've had 5 now, coming up on number 6, you guys, this spring. Yeah, he was there. He was a vendor too. He had candles, and he still got candles. But a lot's happened since then. Well, let me get him in here. Get ready. A good one's coming. Now, Jeffrey, I think I'm sure. He's been on the show before. Let's treat him like a first timer. Put some hearts on the screen. He's coming down the hallway. Jeffrey. I had to sneak a hit of my inhaler. I'm good. How are you?
I am good. Just getting my day going.
Yes. Oh, you're on your phone, huh?
Yes.
Is it on a stand?
I created one.
Can it? Oh,
I'm resourceful.
okay.
You want me to put the landscape?
Will it? Will you still be able to? Oh, there you go. Okay, good. There. Well, we both got our red going today. How you been? It's been a minute.
I've been good. I've had a lot of growing since the last time we talked, and we did meet at the 2019 Power of We Symposium. That's where I also met Jason.
Danny Torres.
Danny Torres.
God
and
special.
And who was the guy from Minnesota? He was a substance addict. I can't remember his name for the life of me, and I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Oh,
yeah.
Joshua T. Berglund.
There you go. I couldn't think. I knew it started with a J. I was like, Jeff, John. I was trying to really think. Like,
I just spoke to him the other day. He's doing great things.
That's outstanding.
So listen. Sorry, y'all. But that Special K was good. I had to talk and chew at the same time. It was good. Listen, instead of reading the bio and all that, but I do have some candles to show. Here's the brand, everybody. What's the first word? What is it?
It's the Flame Candle Company, lighting the world one candle at a time.
I love the
This is actually
tagline.
my second company.
This is your second company?
Mm-hmm.
What's the first company?
It was the Liberty Outfitter
Oh,
LLC.
yeah. I remember that because I used to think it was shoes and stuff at first. I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are what your current candles look like?
Yes.
Okay. Great. And there we see it all set up. You do a lot of rendering. We're going to get into that. I'll bring these photos back in. But take about 60 seconds, Jeffrey. Say hello to everybody. I'm going to cop out. And then
Hi, everybody.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to thank everyone who's tuning in to watch this. This is my first time back since I think 2020, maybe 2019. And I'm really grateful to have this opportunity to actually talk about what I've gone through and the growth that I've done since 2019, 2020. Phone slipped. And just really show that you can really change yourself in 5 years. And growth and progression in your life is not linear. You're going to go up, down, around, back and forth, and you're not going to feel like I'm accomplishing much. Hold on, let me adjust it. There we go.
There you go. Thank you.
You're going to feel like you're not accomplishing much in your life because you're like, man, I haven't changed. But I'll give you a great example. Last year at this time, I was sleeping in a car.
Okay, stop. Don't go too far because I got something to set it up with first. Yes.
Okay.
But before Jeffrey was sleeping in the car, he experienced a windfall, and I got something I'm going to show to set it up. And we're going to talk about that today. A lot of us think, ooh, boy, if I could somebody could leave me a boatload of money, or if I could hit the lotto. Ooh, yeah. Or if I just found a bag of gold doubloons in a cave on vacation and was rich for the rest of my life. Or maybe you're at a garage sale and you buy something that looks like a piece of crap, and behind it, something worth $1 million. I know it sounds crazy, but it happens. And sometimes people find themselves facing a new fortune they weren't prepared for. And that's kind of what happened to you, Jeffrey, an inheritance, right? So just to set it up, you got the inheritance, and it was pretty sizable.
$220,000. I got it in.
And how long did it take for you to lose it or blow it?
To lose it, it took me about 2.5 years, 2 years.
2.5 years. Now, when you got it, you probably thought it would last forever.
Yeah, I did some bad investments. I made a couple bad moves. That's on me. And yeah, but at the end of the day, I've really kind of come to the point that I've accepted that where I'm at in life, and this is a huge thing for people to accept in their life, is that you are responsible for you. Your decisions you make in life, you have information available to you, and you choose to use it or don't use it. It's on you at that point. I'm where I'm at in 79th and Marquette on the south side of Chicago in the hood because I made bad decisions. I had life-changing money in my hand, and I went out and bought an Infinity, invested most of it, and just spent it. I spent money like a drunken sailor, not even thinking about the future, and that's on me. And
okay, we're gonna. This is not something that's uncommon, and so I got this thing on the screen. Here it comes. I want to make sure it was here, and it's entitled "Why People Who Get Rich Quick Usually End Up Broke," and it's true. You're not the first one, and we're going to start there, and then we're going to come back around and see. We're not going to listen to the whole thing because it's 12 minutes long, but we're going to listen to a couple minutes, then we're going to come back.
Let's face the facts. Everyone in this world wants to get rich, to be an overnight success with fame and fortune beyond their wildest
Yes, I agree.
And to some people, this happens and they get rich very quickly. But when you look at these people who do get rich very quickly, it almost never ends up working out for them. I mean, lottery winners, broke and miserable, professional athletes, broke and divorced, crypto bros, broke and back in mommy's basement.
Oh, not the
When people
basement.
make or receive a lot of money in a short amount of time, it almost always never ends up working out for them. And why is this? Why does getting rich quickly never end up working out? Well, while you all have been working hard, changing lives, and making the world a better place, I, Augustine, a full-time YouTuber, have been on the case. And after scouring the globe
Yes?
for answers, I had discovered that there's a reason for this. And
Jeffrey.
in this video, I want to talk about the 10 reasons why getting rich quickly never seems to work out. And the first reason is not having the skills to handle the money. When someone gets rich quickly, like a lottery winner, they almost always go from having very little money to having a lot of money in a very short amount of time. And this is the recipe to losing it all, because since it happened so quickly, they never had to go through the journey and gain the skills to handle large amounts of money.
Okay. Great place to start. So let's go to the beginning. You knew you had an inheritance coming, right?
Yep.
Did you know how much was coming?
I had an idea, and honestly, I was arrogant when I got the money. I thought I knew how to handle it. I thought I knew what I was doing, and no one could tell me nothing. And that was the humility that this was for me. Losing almost $250,000 is insanely humbling, and I've been humbled before in my life, but never to the point that I was living in a car.
Okay,
Never
well,
to
wait.
that.
Going back way before the car. Okay, so take us there. The day finally comes. Woo! I couldn't sleep the night before, probably. Did you? When you knew
Yeah,
you
I
get
slept.
that check the next day?
I slept just fine. My sister called me, but she was the executor of the estate. That's a whole nother barrel that's we can go into at a later time. But I drove down, picked up the check, cashed it.
Okay,
It took
wait.
7 days.
Okay, see, that's why your ass, you go too fast. Because look, because I'm trying to think about it. You just didn't, you sat there, you stared at that thing, didn't you, for a minute? Look at all those numbers. Maybe you should
No,
have. So you just went and acted like you were used to this shit. I get checks
yep,
of $250,000 every day. Is that what you were acting like?
yeah. I went. I'm like, okay, cool, because I actually need to be bailed out because right before that I was facing eviction, but my sister luckily cut me in on part of the inheritance, which cost me like $3,000. So it's actually only like $222,000. And yeah, and I started off one of the worst decisions I made. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I saw this 2018 Infiniti QX30 jet black with black leather interior at a dealership out by River Oaks, and I saw it and I fell in love with it. And this is the thing: is when you get that money, you get tunnel vision. You're
Well,
like, oh, I
so
want this Infiniti.
you went and found this car probably before the money even got there.
Nope, I actually found it on the day I was driving to deposit the check. Yeah.
And you bought it that day.
No, I came back like 2 days later and bought it. I was actually looking at a Lincoln up in way up north, but
Okay.
I was like,
Where's the Infinity now?
it got stolen in Arizona. They found it. I didn't want it back.
Why?
Because I was like, it had a fuel system problem. I bought it with a fuel system problem that would just randomly shut off. So I'm like, I don't want it back because I didn't have the money at the time for the $4,000 to get it fixed. And this was after being in a car for about a year.
So you bought a car for how much?
I ended up I paid way above sticker, way above sticker. I ended up putting 22,000 down on it.
What? wait. You put what?
Like
Lord Jesus, help me! I can't talk. What?
22,000. Yep.
You put $22,000 down.
Mm-hmm.
How much
But
was
my
the
credit
whole
was
car?
shot. Huh?
How much was the whole car?
Like 28. Because my credit was shot and I had to put a large down payment down. I'm like, yeah, I got this.
Okay, so so wait a minute. So the car gets stolen, they find it, but did insurance compensate you?
Oh, insurance paid me out, and then like 6 months, 7 months later, they found the car, and it
For
was
what?
still in my name.
Oh, so
It was
oh.
still titled to me.
If
The
you would
insurance
have took
company.
the car back, would you have had to give the money back to the insurance company?
Nope.
Well, why
Nope.
didn't you just get it and sell it for scraps or something?
Because I just, at the time I made the decision, I'm like, nope.
I bet you
Because
wish you'd done it now because you still had that. No, because you might
yeah,
have missed.
I wish I would have done it, but I didn't. So it's spilled milk
So
at
let
this
me ask
point.
you something. Now, before you got this money, you had a business. You've served in the military, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And I know you have to be financially responsible when you're in there, or they'll put you in jail. For real, you can get your stripes took, all kind of stuff. If you're bouncing checks and they're getting calls and stuff, they know all that shit. So I want to ask you, talk to me, Jeffrey, because it sounds like you had the opportunity to build credit and to learn to be fiscally responsible, disciplined. It's a military thing. Most of us are like that, Triple Nickel, my guys here. A lot of people, you met them. They were at the Power Week that first year too. Triple Nickel. Remember that?
No.
They did the T-shirts. All of our T-shirts. They did our T-shirts. They donated them. They're all military guys. They were doing Triple Nickel in the garage. Now they're in over 600 Kohl's stores.
Wow.
Right, from the same timeline that we were all getting started together. So I'm just saying this because I know. Let me ask you this. Did anyone say to you in your close circle that knew you were coming into this money, maybe you should go and get yourself a financial planner? Maybe you need.
Yes.
They did. Good. So it's not a total loss. You got some decent people sitting in the front row seats. What did you take their advice?
And no, I did not, because I was arrogant to think that I could do it myself.
But didn't you feel in your mind like, this is my chance? I can't fuck this up?
No, I knew that. I said, I'm not going to fuck this up. And this is my biggest, this has been my biggest downfall in my life, is my own arrogance and my self-centeredness, and that no one can tell me nothing. I've never done well with people telling me, you have to do this. I just inherently tell them to pound sand. That's why I only did 4 years in the military. I hated the military. The military refined this absolute, I'm going to do it myself, my way, completely brought it to a nice edge. I've always been this way, but the military refined me to that point. And I screwed up so much in my life. I should not be in an income supported housing at 40.
What is income supported housing for people that don't know?
Right now, Volunteers of America is paying my rent until November, and then I have to start paying $500 a month. And this is not the nicest area. Wait a minute.
What was your choice? If they hadn't paid your rent, Jeffrey, for these months, what would your situation most likely have turned into?
Living in my car again. And that's the honest truth.
So, at least you have a car.
Yeah. And it's my car. Granted, I pay an insane amount on it, but that's because my credit is absolutely shot.
So your credit didn't get to change or grow at all through this windfall of almost $250,000.
Nope. I blew it. I was not responsible.
So how many times a day do you find yourself you'll see a car like the one you had, that Infinity, drive by. What goes through you when you see it? Or you see people that look successful, and you see a house that sold, or all the things you could have done, or the opportunities you missed. And let me ask you this: it didn't cross your mind to buy a home, real estate, where you always make money back?
Nope. I'd grown up poor, so I wanted to live my life. I wanted to have fun. And that's the biggest thing I can tell you is growing up poor. As JT Fox said, I've talked to him every once in a while, and I wish I've talked to him after my business. But he said you can be born poor and it is not your fault, but you die poor, it is your fault.
Mm.
And I've really started to take that in now, and it's like I can be upset. Like, did I see myself being here at 40? No. Even when I was 18, I thought I was going to do 20 and get out of the military. That didn't happen either because it wasn't meant for me. And the windfall video you just talked about, I know I'm kind of going all over the place, but ADHD, lovely thing. Works sometimes, works doesn't.
I know, I have it too.
But the video is, when you get that automatic windfall, you can have all the ideas of, oh, I'm going to do this with it, this with it, this with it. But then when the money gets in your hand, most people that are born poor, that don't have a solid understanding that, hey, because you'll agree with this. You've met Jason, all them. They'll say there's no such thing as an overnight success. An overnight success is 5 to 7 years. There's no overnight successes. And this is what I'm feeling this company is for me, is because I'm doing it right and I'm realizing that I'm not going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in the first 2 years. I know that. So I've accepted that that's not going to happen. And I have to play the game. I have to play my game that I created for myself. Because we all create the games for ourselves in our lives. We can make it easy or hard, and it's ultimately our choice. Because
are you currently in debt?
Yes.
So wait a minute. So you had almost $250,000. You didn't pay off your debt?
No, because I was told that I could fight it through like writing letters and using certain US code C. Yeah. That was on me because I just believed that person.
Wait, but was it legitimately your debt?
Yes, it was. It was all my debt for months. I had mainly repos on and a few small credit card. Yeah, my largest debt is $16,000 right now, and that's a card that was repoed.
And nothing made you okay. So you didn't want to clean that up. It sounds like what have you learned from this? Let's go there. Because you came on the show, and I appreciate that. Listen, I appreciate you being vulnerable and transparent. And I'm sorry if I'm just at every turn reinventing my own definition of shocked as shit. I'm serious. I'm telling you, I swear to goodness, if I was like in the room with you, I'd probably punch you. I'm not kidding, because I know you. And I'm just shocked. I would have never seen this coming from you. And let's talk about that. Because when I met you, I was like, come on in, power of we, exhibitor. I was so proud of you, and you gave away candles to kids that you brought. I remember this. I'll never forget it, Jeffrey. You gave away candles that you meant to sell, and you needed that money. You needed that money. So that when you're being of service, you're easing suffering in the world. And I can't wait, because I know you must have some insight about what was the number one thing, Jeffrey, that you know now does not serve you? Is it scarcity mindset? Is it imposter syndrome? Is it a combination of a few things? But what do you feel you need to get rid of completely, so that when your next blessing, your next truckload of abundance, of increase shows up, you are ready to be a great steward, ready to handle it? Because to whom much is given, much is required.
And the thing is, it was a scarcity mindset, but was also the habitual people pleaser in me of wanting to be like, oh, if I don't help people out, you know something? I've really turned into I am truly a selfish person. I'll give you a great example of my selfishness. What I do with my company right now. If you, Lauren, let's say you buy a candle, I give you a code that every person that you give that code to gets 1% off their order, plus you get $5 for every order. And yes, that is being selfish. I'm not losing any money, but I'm helping grow my business by helping other people make money. That's what I do. Because before it used to be all about, I just want to maximize profit. And I realized that maximizing profit doesn't necessarily grow your business if you're not set up right. So now this is what I do. I give them discounts. Like when you buy 4 candles, you get $10 off your next order. I'm launching
Okay.
a subscription.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
launching subscriptions. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. But I'm sitting up here. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm sitting up here going, yeah, it sounds good. But what's he going to do when it starts taking off? What does he put in? What?
What I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on investing the money back into the company and grow the company. I'm not taking a salary.
But what
I
are
am
you?
set up.
What are you doing? Are you going to go to a free class at the library? Are you going to get signed up, enrolled in a community college course on finances or entrepreneurship? Or what are you going to do that puts a foundation underneath all your hard work this time that hasn't existed previously? What are you going to do? Aren't you in the least bit, a little bit, a lot of things, pissed off, mad at myself, or disappointed, frustrated, but determined? I'm going to learn from it. Talk about what you've put in place to make sure what happened.
I'm determined. There's no point in being pissed off anymore for me. It doesn't serve me.
Oh, so you
There's
were?
no point. Yeah, I was pissed off. I was pissed off at a lot of people, but ultimately I realized I was pissed off at myself for what I did and who I helped out. But at the end of the day, what does being pissed off, what does being mad at myself get me? It gets me in a negative spiral that I don't want to be in. So it's like, okay, I'm determined that when I do this again,
okay. So, but wait a minute. So if you're not pissed off at yourself, which is good, what are you pissed off at? Or
I'm pissed off at who I was at that point in my life.
And who were you?
I was the people pleaser. I never wanted to hurt anyone's feelings. Now I have a TikTok channel. I do politics on it. I'm not going to get into politics here, but it's called IDGAF 1984. And we all know what that stands for. And I say what I mean and mean what I say now. And if you don't like it, well, then don't rock with me. I'm cool with it. I'm not going to have people around me that don't accept me for who I am.
Well, let's talk about the people around you. Well, so a lot of people are opportunists. They see any chance to get something they don't have or more of what they do have, but with no investment from their side. In other words, I remember, seriously, it reminds me, I remember one time I was taking a bath when I was a kid, and one of my nieces made a fake invitation and put it in an envelope and slid it on the door, and I opened it up, and there was a lollipop on the front, and it said, "You are invited to a lollipop party." And then I opened it up and it says, "And if you show up, you'll be the only sucker there." And I was laughing. I thought it was really funny. I've never forgotten it. And so let's talk about that. The people that were around you like flies on, like bees to honey, did that happen? Where all of a sudden everything Jeffrey did was funny? He told a joke, everybody laughed?
No, not really. It was people that I had rocked with for a while up to that point. And I'm not
mean? But wait, what do you mean rocked with?
That I had known for years. And I'm not going to go into it because I made a vow to myself.
Names.
No, I'm just saying, like, yeah. But it was a lot of stuff.
What did these people do? What was it? Betrayal?
At the time, it felt like betrayal, and there's still a part of me that is processing and trying to really deal with what I went through with these people, this person in particular. And I'm just realizing that I'm starting to look at the signs from the outside of being out of the situation, out of that relationship. And I'm realizing a lot of it was their self service, their own self serving needs. And I'm not mad at them for that anymore. I don't hold that resentment because ultimately, at the end of the day, they were there for a reason in my life. And I think it was just to show me that sometimes the people that have been with you the longest aren't going to be with you for the longest.
Wait a minute. I'm getting a download. I'm supposed to ask you about that car that got stolen. Was the car parked somewhere and then you came back and it was just gone? Or were
It was parked in my condo in Arizona. I lived in Arizona
it was
for
parked
3
in a
years.
parking lot?
No, it was parked in a garage, and I thought I had locked the door to the garage, and I didn't. And the apartment complex had sent out emails that people were jiggling that door handles to get into the car, and I left the fob in the car because I had always done it, and I didn't give it a second thought. Yeah.
So
Stupidity.
your car is in a closed garage.
Mm-hmm.
You leave the key in the car. You knew
Yeah, and forgot to lock the door.
and they gave you heads up. Lock the door because
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's like I'm not even like that happened. I'm not even mad about it because I realized that that's what I call a stupid tax. And stupid taxes are a lovely thing because they tell you, hey, that was dumb. And you didn't want to learn the warnings. So now you have to pay a tax for that. And I paid that tax. And I'm fine with it because it was like, okay, that was just so
good one, Robert.
dumb. That was just so dumb on my part.
Well,
And again,
what have you learned from it all?
I've learned that
Man.
I was not prepared for what I had coming. I was not prepared at all. I thought I was. And hubris is the ultimate.
Good. Just letting them know.
Cherries are good.
Cherries.
Yes. Hubris is the ultimate downfall of everyone. Because it doesn't matter who you are. I've figured this out since all the people I've ever driven around in Uber is hubris is ultimately one of the things that'll bring you down the fastest because you think you can't tell me nothing. I know this. I've studied this.
So
Well,
if you were to say some cousin you didn't know about died yesterday, and tomorrow you find out you got $250,000 coming again, what would you do differently?
what would I do differently? First off, I would take a third of it and put it into a market index fund. That's the first thing, and not touch it. So that would take out, or let's go with. I'm trying to do easy math here because I'm trying to figure math in my head as
What'd
we're
you
talking.
say you put it in, or what?
A market index fund. Just let it sit and grow money and not touch it.
So wait a minute. How you know about that now? And you didn't know about it last year when you had the money?
Because I actually started learning, and I actually started learning how to do options trading. I would put like 10,000 into cryptos, another probably 50,000 into Bitcoin, because I want to be able to, as it goes up, as long as it goes above the benchmark that I set, that I will not take it if it goes below it. I can keep taking profit as long as it stays above that point. And if it drops below it, I just don't take any profit. I've learned how to set. Yes.
But you talking like you've done it and stuff, which I would be afraid for you. I'm being honest. I would be afraid for you because it takes people years to learn how to do all that.
And that's what I've been doing.
And I believe you would throw 50,000 into this, and then you probably be broke again.
Nope, because I'm still getting the interest from the market indexed annuities. I'm still getting money from those. I understand how those work now. Like I understood Bitcoin at a surface level. Now I understand how markets work. Now I understand how regulations work and what is going on in the crypto market and how the crypto market is linked
stop
to
for a second. So let me ask you this. Yeah, you may understand that shit. I'm just saying. But what do you understand about clearing up your funky ass credit? You need to do those things too, Jeffrey. You had an opportunity to make a difference in your life so you can continue to make differences in others. And you skipping over the stuff, you got to clean up inside the house before you start trying to go build outside of the house. Because where you lay your head should be sacred space, where you honor everything. That means there's gratitude, there's thankfulness, there's how can I help someone else, tied to yourself, but tied to something else as well. I'm just saying, I ain't trying to preach to you, but I'm saying this because I'm your friend. Seriously. And I'm looking at you, and you opened up this show by saying, describe what you said about where you're living. What is
I'm living on 79th and Marquette in the hood. I can hear automatic weapons fire probably once a week.
And someone else is footing the bill. And if you don't get it together by the time that runs out, which the clock is ticking, you'll be back to living in your car. And then what if something happens to the car? This happens every day to people, y'all. So don't be sitting there judging, because I'm not. And it may sound like it, but I'm not. And I'm just saying, because a lot of people, don't listen and think. Share some ideas. Follow Jeffrey. We're going to put his information in at the end. If you've got something you want to say to him, DM, say, you know what? I went through that. Or I don't know. Here's what I would recommend. Here's what I would suggest. Do it. Reach out. But Jeffrey, do you feel like you move too fast? Do you feel you give yourself adequate grace? Just in case I mess this up, I'm going to take something to somebody, Pookie, Aunt Rachel, Cousin Peaches, somebody, or put something. You know what I used to have to do when I was in that spot? And burn a hole. I don't care what I did. Just couldn't keep it. I had to go open a bank account 2 states over. Not get a debit card. Can't do any kind of transfers, wires, this, that, and the other. The only way I could get money there was to go there during business hours, go in. And it was in my account to see the private banker if I came up to the ready teller. And I'd given him a list of things, vetting things, to not give that to him. Because I tell you why, I didn't know how to handle shit back then. And I got tired. I knew it was more than me just thinking I'm not smart enough, or that you're born with that, or that just is for rich people or the lucky people. And then it started turning into being a good steward. Lauren, what are you doing with the pennies we've blessed you with? I'm doing all right with them. How many have we given you? A lot? Give us a number. A whole lot? You see where I'm going? Right. And that's it. I realized I did not understand value. And if I didn't, and you know what? It wasn't the value of things. It was the value of how situations and experience should leave me feeling. So I needed to work on building things that made me feel a certain kind of way. Falling into my intuitions, my instincts, my insight. That don't feel right. Something tells me I need to talk to someone else. Or, right. Because then it changed everything. It really did. It really did. So let's talk about your candle business. So you got your candle business. That's a positive thing. And I love your tagline. What is it? Lighting what?
Lighting the world one candle at a time.
What candle at a time?
And I'm actually trying to figure out just how to create a foundation off it called the Flame Foundation. There's actually another part to that I'm actually going to figure out when I talk to my tax advisor, how to structure it to where I'm going to do like a power of we thing once a year. And what we're going to do is we're going to set it up kind of like a Shark Tank. People from underserved communities that have a solid business idea, marketing plan, you're going to come and sit down with people and we're going to see if it's worth investing in, because we'll give you a grant for what's in our account to build your business, expand your business, or even start your business. And also, I'm figuring out in the very early stages of like penciling it out of like different programs to offer as well that is included in the grant program, because I understand something that is very important in this economy. You have to create your own economy now. you can't count on having a job because most jobs, if you don't go into a trade, are going the way of automation.
So how are you making a living now? If
I
I
do
can,
Uber. I do Uber. And I also, when I sell my candles, that's another way, but I don't really try to touch that money unless stuff just like happens, like my car got ran into when it was parked on the street. And the woman was nice enough to leave her insurance in the car for us. And my car is out of commission for a month. And Geico covered the repairs and everything and then sent me a check for $1,700. And you know what I did with that money? I deposited in my bank account and I paid pretty much all of my credit card debt off. I paid off my Capital One, caught my car note up, and I paid off 80 or 76% of my other credit card. So now my credit card balance is only like $250 for both cards combined.
okay.
So now I'm starting to see that that was a smart move on my part. And it's like I turned down an opportunity to go to the Rustic Fox and set up my candles in their store out in the new one they opened in North Aurora.
Well, people are watching
Carroll
from
Street.
all over the world, so they're not even going to know what place you're
No,
talking.
but yeah, it was going to be a store set up to where I'd be in there, but something about it just didn't sit right with me because it's like I'm paying them a 10% commission. Plus, I also have to work 2 hours a week in there, or 40 hours, or
Okay.
8 hours a month.
Wait.
No, hold on. I want to explain how I got to why I thought it was a good idea, but then the money just didn't appear when I needed it
Lord.
to, which made me realize it was not a good idea. Because I would have been paying them rent, which was almost $400 a month, plus commission, plus I would have to work in there basically 2 hours for free or pay them $160 a month.
Okay.
But
Wait.
let me.
I gotta ask. I can't. I just can't. I gotta ask. The clock is ticking on that place you're sitting in right now. Yes?
Yeah.
When do they stop paying your rent?
I only have to pay a part of it, and that's $500, and that doesn't start until November.
But don't you want to get out of where you hear machine gun fire?
Yes, I do.
So are you going to stay there and just take the easy $500 a month pill? Or are you working?
No, I'm working on getting my credit. That's my thing. I'm trying to get my credit, everything taken care of with that. And that's the
because
thing.
you can't get the kind of apartment you want in that kind of
Exactly.
area you want unless that credit
Unless I have a
was cleaned up.
large security deposit, which I learned in Arizona, where I was staying at, which was well above my means, but that's a whole
And
nother
so let's
story.
ask this. Let's answer this question. So today, when you need a break or something, say, hey, you know, a couple of years ago, I had $500,000, $250,000. So you can trust me. Let me in. What I'm getting at, are you really, Jeffrey? Really, are you planning so that you create a sidewalk, a staircase, something where you a plan? This is what I'm asking. A lot of us, for instance, we want to lose weight. We say, I want to lose 10 pounds, and around the corner, we've gained it. Because when we say what we want, usually that equates to eventually becoming nothing more than a wish. But when we say from a place of need, what I need to do is I need this. Because if I want to lose that weight, I'm going to say, well, I need to shop better because I need to cook better because I need to eat better to lose the weight I want. So what do you feel it is you need at this point in your life to make sure, because you're jumping over? I'm just saying, I've asked you about what you're putting in place for where you lay your head so that you're safe and your car doesn't get hit from just sitting on the street. And you're not in places where, you know, situations where a person just walk in your shut garage and get in your car because you left the fob in it with the door unlocked and still. You see what I'm saying? Are you building? Take something, Jeffrey, and hold that matters to you and hold it right here and watch it materialize around you. And then it should be impenetrable because you have created it from a sacred place. I want to see that for you. I've seen your heart from the very first. Give. See, a lot of people talking about, that's just you said people pleaser. People don't know how to say no, but it's also a matter of learning when to say yes as well. You see what I'm saying?
Discernment. Yep.
Discernment. Do
And
you
it's like,
ask anything greater than you? Do you seek discernment anywhere in your decisions with money?
I started to look at it, is this going to be immediate gratification or is this setting me up for success long term?
Mhm.
And that's the biggest thing, is I fell into the idea of instant gratification because of how I was brought up. Like, I'm just going to be perfectly honest.
I believe
That
it.
would be a whole nother show if we were to do that, to go on how I was brought up in that respect.
Sure.
But what I've started to do is I'm just getting caught up on all my bills right now that I'm behind on because I've been just kind of guessing and robbing Peter to pay Paul, as they say.
Oh, see, no plan. But now
No,
you have
but now
a plan.
I have. Yes, I'm setting it up to where once I get my bills caught up, like right now, I pay my own gas and electric, and my electric in my apartment, because I'm hardly ever here, is less than $20 a month. The service fee is actually more than the actual supply of power.
What is the most important thing that you can share with us today, Jeffrey? Because we don't go through stuff just for shits and giggles, and I don't believe they're mistakes. You've heard me say it before, you guys. That's just the universe keeping our shit interesting. So now that they've mixed it up and made your shit really interesting, tell me, what is the one thing that you feel you have gained that you couldn't have gotten it anywhere else? And when you look back over everything that some people might say from what they've heard here today, why? That sucks. Sucks to be him. Whoa, no. You know why? Because this is why it was worth it. Because now I know.
Now I just know that this is, if you can't get stuck. You just can't, like, because we do this. Once one thing goes wrong for us, we start saying, what else can go wrong? We start getting into this negative self-talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now when something goes wrong for me, it's like, okay, how do I get out of this? I start thinking. I don't let it go, oh, what do I do now? What do I do now? This is going to happen now that I missed this payment, yada yada. I can't think like that anymore, because that's the thought process that got me where I'm at. And because honestly, the person, you know her, I'm not going to say her name obviously, but she said this, and this kind of stuck with me. Why build yourself a mansion when all you need is a 2-bedroom house? Why try to build something bigger than what you need in the moment? And honestly, that's true.
And
like,
she didn't say want. She didn't say something bigger than you want in the moment. She said something bigger than what you need.
Yep, because you build a 2-bedroom house, that gives you a place to start from, and that gives you a foundation. But you don't build your foundations on sand; you build them on solid bedrock.
I want you to come back in 6 months with a joy report.
Got you.
Because I believe your situation is gonna be completely different. I have no doubt, Jeffrey, that you can turn it around.
It is, because, and you know, one of my goals every week is to never have a notification that any of my accounts are under $100.
Okay.
That's a goal. That's a simple goal you can set up in your banking app. You can set it up, notify me when it drops below 100. And that tells you,
low threshold notifications, they're called.
Yep.
Low threshold. Now listen.
And that's what I do.
Last thing before we go, you guys, scrolling along, if you want to see Jeffrey's work, his products, his business, there on the screen right now is how you get there. There's the website, flamecandle.net. Go over and take a look. Best smelling soy candles. He does great work. You might sit there, and I'm saying don't judge until you've walked a mile in a person's shoes. And you know, you may say, well, let me do. Oh, I wish I would get my hands on $250,000. I'll show you what to do with it. You know what? I don't care who you are. If you don't have a plan, if you don't know what you need, you know, and here's another thing, people, whatever it is, well, any type of abundance, increase, blessing. Don't be surprised when it shows up, because that means you don't know what you haven't planned, what you're going to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
Expect it.
And one quick thing. What? One quick thing. When you go to my website, I actually do charity work as well. I actually do fundraising. I can make candles for your fundraisers, and they sell for $25. You keep 15, I keep 10. I want to give the charity and the organization the lion's share of the money because I still make a little bit, but it's not about me making all the money I can. It's about making sure other people are fed as well.
And you know what though? You too. I'm gonna tell you something. You cannot pour from an empty cup, Jeffrey.
Yep.
It is my cup runneth over, never my cup runneth out.
Yep.
So always make sure you put something up from your blessing, your increase, your abundance. Put it up in your spiritual Tupperware and take it out.
And see, that's what I did with this company. And that's why I did set it up the way I did with like the $5 and the fundraiser. That's why I did, because I'm giving back, because
I
it
know.
used to be all about taking
I
my
know.
money.
Well, what I'm saying too, not about keeping your money. Do right by yourself first. Get your hands on the 4 agreements, Jeffrey. Get your hands. What?
Okay, I will.
Get your hands on the book. You want me to send it to you? I'll buy it and send it to you.
Okay.
Stay backstage when we get done.
Okay.
I'll get your information and it'll be on your way. You'll probably get it today. I want you to stay inside of that book. Stay inside of those principles and watch what happens in your life, okay?
Okay.
Listen, you've been in my life for quite a while, and I hope you're there for a long while more. And I want to see the best for you, and I'm so grateful. Thank you. So proud of you. It's not easy to come and be vulnerable and admit and share in the manner in which you did today. And it shows me your heart and that you're a person. Don't count him out, you guys. He's just getting started. We'll get you back here in that joy report. 6 months, right?
Yep.
Okay, you heard it here, you guys. Jeffrey, thank you so much. Get out there and have a great day today. And for all of you out there, thank you. I couldn't do it without you, and I wouldn't want to. Now get out of here. Go find a piece of your highest self today and move it right over to where you're at. Take everything you are, great to greater, bright to brighter, strong to stronger, bold to bolder, and nice to nicer. Ah, what a world, what a world. I'll see you, God willing, tomorrow morning over on the front porch where together we'll have yet another illuminated conversation. Now get out of here. Don't let my screen door slam on the way out. And remember, as always, Dr. Lauren loves you, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Jeffrey, thank you, man.
You're welcome. Thank you, everyone.
Of course. See you guys. Bye.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey,